How's it going, guys? This is Lino here at Texas Made Welding Academy. We're gonna shoot a little clip of how to run your root pass, open root with a ceramic backing. So pretty much your ceramic backing, you're gonna give it your gap, a 532 gap, 316 gap. And then we're gonna use this bad boy. We're gonna tape it to the back of the plate. And pretty much it'll give you a slick root. We're gonna run that first pass with Fluxcore. We got a new product alert. We got a new product that just came out. We got these real nice FR shirts. They got 3 threads all the way around, real heavy duty. They get that starch, real nice. So if you like being that welder out there with that heavy starch, this shirt's for you, brother. We got the big pockets. You can slide your whole iPhone or whatever you got in here, put it in there, snap it on. It got some real nice pearl snap buttons. And we got both pockets. If you want to put your tungsten holder on one side or your flashlight on the other side, it works pretty nice. Check them out. We got the link below, and they're on special for $50 at the moment, so take advantage of that. Right here we got our plates. They're beveled. We're gonna clean up that bevel real quick. We're gonna give it a nickel landing and get it ready. All right, guys, so we got them cleaned up. We pretty much cleaned up our bevel. We gave it a nickel landing. That's our landing right here. You see, we no longer have that sharp edge, so that's our landing right here. And we cleaned up the back. The reason you want your back of your plate to be nice and cleaned up, because whenever you tape up the ceramic, I'm gonna cut off a little piece. The ceramic, pretty much, this is your ceramic, and it has, every inch it has a little break. So if you want to, however long you want to use a shorter or a bigger piece, you can pretty much break it down. Whenever you put the ceramic on there, you have that tape in the back. You want to make sure your plate is nice and cleaned up, so when you tape it in the back or whatever you're welding to, you don't want this to be falling off once you start welding, and then you're welding your root nice and then it's gonna fall through, okay? So make sure that plate is cleaned up so when you put this tape on there, it catches on there tight, okay? We're gonna talk about our fit up right here. So we're gonna go ahead and place it on the table, and then we're gonna give it a 316 gap on there, okay? We're gonna give it a 316 gap. Then we're gonna go ahead and put our tack. We're gonna place our first tack. Once we place our second tack, before you start your second tack, always make sure you still have the gap that you need on there. You don't want it to close up or open up on you too much, all right? Okay, so we did our first tack. We pretty much did a bridge tack. We did our first tack, and then once we did our second tack, you want to make sure before you do your second tack that your gap is still correct. You don't want it to close on you or pull or anything like that. So basically when we did our tags, we pretty much build up on one side, build up on the other side, and then we connected both plates. We pretty much did a bridge tack. Or what you could do is, what you could use is use a little tab or flat bar. You could put it on the side, and then you could tack it, and that'll hold both of your plates together. So once you tack it, get your ceramic, measure it. So pretty much we'll measure our ceramic. You want one little square popping up to the top, one little square popping on the bottom. So whenever you start off on the bottom of your plate, you start off on the ceramic, and then whenever you finish off, you got room to finish off. Break it off. Take off one tape, take off the other tape. Whenever you place the ceramic, bend this side. Make sure it's touching the side and then bend it out. You don't want to leave that air gap right here on the edge like this. You want to make sure it's nice and tight right here on the tape next to the ceramic. We'll do the other side. Once you bend it in, bend it out a little bit. Okay, once you place this on your plate, if you see this little groove, you want this little groove to be right on the gap. So whenever you're welding and that weld is penetrating, this pretty much will let your metal sit on there, and that'll give you a penetration to the other side of the plate. Okay?
Yeah.
Sí, ahí está bien. So we pretty much got our ceramic lined up right here. We got it lined up with our gap. We're gonna press down in the middle first on the edge. Sorry, you're gonna press down right here on the edge first. Once it's tight on the edges, then press down on the sides. Because remember, if you leave a little gap right here and that tape is not on there correctly, once you're receiving all that heat on your ceramic, it's gonna get hot and it's just gonna fall down on you. Okay? Put it on there nicely. Put on this side. Press down on the other side now. Okay? Right here on top, what you could do is break this tape down and then wrap it on the plate. And do the same thing on the bottom. Okay guys, so we pretty much got our ceramic on there. This is, I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but this is pretty much a little groove on our ceramic. Make sure this groove is lined up with your gaps. Once you line it up with your gaps and you tighten up the ceramic, make sure you fold these little ears of that tape down so that'll hold that ceramic on place, okay? All right guys, a little story about me. Before I was a rig welder, combo welder, everybody wants to be a rig welder and a combo welder out there, but we all start from the bottom. Right after I was a helper, I was pretty much a bull ganger and moved up to a welder. We were out there building storage tanks. I was pretty much a tanky. If you guys know what that means, you know what it's all about. We were pretty much running verts. We were running the BOGO on the verts, the BOGO on the verts. We were running the 3 o'clock and all that stuff. So we pretty much, this procedure is used out there a lot. Instead of running your MIG, your root on with MIG, you'll put that ceramic back in, you'll weld that bad boy out, fill it and cap it with the same wire. You're not wasting time changing wires and all that stuff. Instead of having a back grind or back gouge, ain't no need for that. So you guys are gonna see at the end of the video how clean that root comes out. It saves a lot of time for the companies, makes the procedure way faster. But we welders, you welders don't like this Fluxcore. It's a non-stop, so you're pretty much welding all day. So let's see how it turns out, guys. It's been a while. All right, guys, so we're pretty much doing just a little dry run. I have my wire sticked out just so you can see pretty much how the movement we're gonna do. So you're gonna hit this wall and you're gonna come to this wall. You can do a little U motion like a horseshoe or side to side. Make sure you climb that wall a little bit on that bevel with your wire. You do not want to get ahead. Take your time. You'll see your puddle building up and moving on you. You don't want to get ahead of your puddle. If you get ahead of your puddle, that wire is going to go through and it's going to push that ceramic off of your plate. So it's just be patient. Hit the wall, hit the other wall. Take your time on it. Let that fill up, okay? Okay guys, so right here we're pretty much running our wire U-shape. We're going side to side. Make sure you climb the side of the bevel about 1/8 on each side, and make sure you pause for 2/3 of a second or a full second. Make sure you pause on the sides. If you have a bigger gap, you want to pause, you want to run into your bevel a little bit more. If it's a tighter gap, you want to focus more in the center. Make sure you take your time. Let that puddle get ahead of you. You do not want to get ahead of your puddle. If you do, your wire will end up poking that ceramic and knocking it off of your plate. So make sure you take your time. Let that puddle build up. Stop on your sides. and just keep that puddle ahead of you. You want to stay behind. So say for instance, if you have a big gap and you stay in the middle too long, you do not want to stay in the middle too long. That puddle will end up just falling on you and falling off of your plate and just bulking up on you. Right here at this part when we're welding, you can hear my wire kind of sticking. That means I was getting a little bit ahead of myself. I had to slow down a little bit more so I could stay behind that puddle. Alright guys. Alright guys, so we pretty much run it on a vertical position. We have our ceramic backing. We finished up a root. We're not doing any editing. We're going to fold this plate down. We're going to remove the ceramic, and then we're going to see how that root came out and pretty much explain to you guys if we got any defects on there. Anybody could weld and edit the videos. So we removed our ceramic, we removed it, and that is pretty much your root. Look at that bad boy. Ain't that slicker than cum in a gold tooth, boy. All right, so we don't have no porosity, we don't have no undercut. That's 100% badass root right there. Now in the front, you would pretty much wire wheel it and then just fill it out, cap it. So now you don't got to worry about gouging. You don't got to worry about back grinding or none of that, okay? That's what that ceramic is for on that Fluxcore. You don't got to be switching from MIG to Fluxcore and this and that. Just put that Fluxcore wire in there, put your ceramic, and let's go. You'll pretty much do that test in flat, horizontal, vertical, overhead, any kind of position as possible for you to do it. They will test you out on that. If you're out there and looking for work and you can't find work, try to switch over to Flux. It's really easy for you to find work with tanking companies. It might not be the cleanest job for you to do out there or the easiest job, but it'll pay the bills instead of being at home and trying to live off of that unemployment, trying to live off of the TWC, Texas Workforce Commission, okay? Just a quick little tip. Whenever you are welding, you gotta make sure you're taking your time. You can't get ahead with that wire. If that wire gets ahead and it hits that ceramic when you're welding, the ceramic doesn't conduct. It's not gonna catch that ground. It's not gonna burn. That wire will push that ceramic off of your plate. So make sure you stay in that puddle. Jump into that bevel a little bit and let it build up. Let it take its time. Let that metal build up in there. So right here is pretty much that build up, and it'll give you that root, okay? We haven't wire wheeled it. We'll wire wheel it and we'll post a picture of it. Stay tuned for the next video. We're gonna fill it up. We're gonna cap it. And don't forget to go online and get you your new FR, Texas made FR shirt.